In this part, let's look at how to make these wheels. We're going to start with a circle again. Align it to the view, something like this. Just going to do it separately here, and fill it in using F, and then extrude it on the x-axis. Control B to bevel it, so that we round it off. I don't need these inside faces. Then I can push these away from the center, from the center point, so that I can use that as the mirror on, and the axis is, I think, Z, something like that. Turn on smooth shading, and yeah, so then I can select these from this edge loop, Shift D to duplicate it, and then scale it out just a bit, like that. We are making this cone here, and I can select the rest of the faces, I think from here to here. Delete those vertices. Actually, let me delete just those. Make sure you turn on clipping, then hit extrude to have something like that. And I can also select these faces, hit F to insert them, and then I to, let me first Control L to hide, and then Shift H to hide this other side. Then I can select this face and this, delete those faces. Now you can see what we have. Now I can apply the mirror modifier and then go to edit mode again and hide everything. Shift H, add a cylinder. I'm just going to use again 16 vertices. Scale it down. Doesn't even have to be 16, it can be less than that. So divide this by 2, so that I have about 8. Scale it down, and I make sure it's aligned with these vertices here. We're making that support or pole. Yeah, I think something like that. And then you can go under faces and find intersect boolean, so that we can join this with this. But for the boolean, we're going to use union, so that we have something like that. And let me make sure that I don't have any doubles. So I think I do. So I'm just going to right click everything, select everything, merge by distance, that increase the threshold just a bit. Then now I can also just move these vertices I'm using the shortcut Alt M, and then merge to the last to merge them correctly like that. Now if we turn on smooth shading for this as well, I think I can select this edge loop here and right click, mark sharp, and then go to the auto smooth and turn on auto smooth and increase the angle to 60. Okay, I think we're good with the wheels. So if you want to be fancy, you can even add a few more extra details like that. So now we can apply this to, we can have it connected to this. So I'm just going to select this, Shift S, cursor selected, cursor to selected, and then selection to cursor, scale it down, make sure that it's aligned. And now if I merge this to this, the wheels should be applied to all the poles, and then I can go to the modifiers, apply the mirror modifier, and then apply the array modifier at the same time. Now we have those wheels. So this has to go on some kind of base that I can't see in the reference images, but I'm just going to do something here that I imagine would look like the base. So I'm just adding a plane, add the mirror modifier, go to edit mode, add a loop, and delete this other side so that we can use the mirror modifier on that side. Just doing something simple here, maybe out of my imagination. I think I can delete this face here and this face. Select that edge, bevel it, round it off. We don't need these extra vertices, so I'll just go in and remove them, something like that. And maybe we can even subdivide this. Okay, let me also add the mirror to work on the y-axis so that I can easily, if I merge this to this, can add a loop here, then push these up like that, round them off. Let me select this edge, Control B to bevel it, but this time I'll just make it the opposite curve, have something like that. And basically what I'm doing is making something that can connect this to this, and also just trying to make it look as good as I can, so maybe without doing a lot of work. So it's, I think I can connect that to that. Yeah, and then we can add solidify modifier. Make sure that we only render the rim, and the thickness should be on the opposite side like that. Then apply. I'm going to remove these inner faces that we have just added, delete faces to have something like that. Then apply the mirror modifier. If you want, you can soften this angle here by beveling it as well. So let's do that as well. So here, then Control B. Make sure that the profile is concave. Let's reduce the segments. Have something like that. Now I can have that. Let me get this. I can have that as the base support for this. And I think I'm just going to select these vertices and make them, straighten them up a bit, so have and then I can select this portion and also start moving the vertices around to curve around, to have them bend to that seat. Again, it always depends on how detailed you want to be with something like this. So you might not have to do this if you don't want to be that detailed. Okay, I think we are done with this chair for the most part, so all we're left with is UV unwrapping it, and oh, we also have to add this angle here, this hand support. Have something like that, that side, like that. Extrude this down, and then select these here, I, and then push these up using Alt S. Then I think I can add a support loop here and here to make this as sharp as it looks there. Actually, I don't think it should be that sharp. So let me just push them back a bit, add a loop here to make it a bit curved like that. Push that up a bit. I have some, I don't know what is going on here with these things here. But, let me see if we can add them. So I think I can select a few of these, insert them. I think that's a lot. Let me just go with this and maybe add a loop here. Control Shift B at bevel this side, and then use a profile of something less than 5 to make this circular. Hit F and then Shift Alt S1 to turn it into a circle. And you can extrude a pole like that from it, and then set. Again, you can choose how detailed you want to be here. I think this always is kind of scaled in on one axis like this, so I'll do the same. Something like that. Let me make this a bit wider. And if you turn on auto smooth, you can also turn these faces, make these sharp. Control E, mark sharp. So if I scale this on the Y axis like that, can insert this, push that in, hit Y to separate it, maybe scale this face in a bit, and then extrude out again. Then Shift D to duplicate, scale out, and move it up a bit, extrude down. Are we creating this part here? Then, okay, so I think this is smaller than what we have in the reference. Maybe also we need to make it a bit wider. sorry, a bit thicker on this axis. So push this something like that. Then we can just use the shear tool here to angle this, then extrude this on the x-axis like that, and that should be good to go. This still looks a bit too large for me, so I'm just going to scale it down, push it down, then do maybe extend it back a bit like so, and then use the mirror modifier to mirror it on the other side. And I think we are done with the chair. Maybe just select these vertices and push them up. I think I can rotate this like that, and maybe also rotate this at around here, just a bit like that. Yeah, so the next part we'll be looking at UV unwrapping this.